you not entertained? The Bears have done it. They have gone into Philadelphia, and they have come in big in this one, taking down the Philadelphia Eagles 24-15. What a game. The Bears, I think, proving a lot of people wrong today. And if you were wondering if they were contenders or pretenders, they did a pretty darn good job today of proving a lot of people wrong, thinking that 8-3 was a fluke. Welcome on into the Bear Report Rapid Recap. I'm Steven Johnson. He is Zack Pearson. And Zack, I don't think anybody expected the dominance that the Bears defense put up today, in addition to the running game, which I don't know how many great things we can say, but what a game. What a game.
Dude, old school Bears football, old school smash mouth football, 200 yards rushing. Manungai had 100, over 100. DeAndre Swift had over 100. They had, over 250, I think, as a team. And a Dennis Allen masterclass. He had the perfect game plan to shut down essentially Saquon Barkley and force Jalen Hurts to beat him. And the Eagles couldn't do it. Jaquan Brisker after the game, I don't know if you caught it on the Prime broadcast, but it's like screaming, like, what are they going to say now into the cameras? That's a statement win, man. That's the win that we've been waiting for, that a lot of people on social media have, said that the Bears aren't for real. They haven't beaten anyone, DVOA, this, that, whatever metric they come up with. The Bears are 9-3 and they're playing for first place in the NFC North at Lambeau Field next weekend. That's just the facts.
And have clinched a winning record in 2025. On top of that, they are one win away from having a double-digit victory season. Just so many things that I think just solidified the performance of this game, and the fact that things worked the way that they did. You saw the impact and how difficult it was for Jalen Hurts to move the ball through the air, in addition to having Saquon Barkley getting going on the ground. This is what we have been waiting for in getting the Bears healthy. It is finally here, and Christmas has come 27 days early, more than anything else, for what we were hoping Dennis Allen would have a chance to see out of this team. Ben Johnson is at the podium, so we are going to jump to that right now.
To talk about, and that's Billings left the game with a concussion, didn't finish the game, so we'll see where he's at next week. But end of the day, just really proud of everybody involved. Short week, we really hadn't had one of those yet as a team, and I thought the coaching staff did a great job putting a sound plan together. We knew it was going to be a race trying to get everything in, and kind of harping on the guys that the details were going to be the difference here this week. And the team that made the least number of mistakes was probably going to win this game. So fortunately for us, we felt like that fell in our favor. Really excited about a number of performances here. Can't say enough about that running game. I don't think we win that game if we're not able to run the ball like we were. Both the backs over 100 yards was just outstanding. You could feel decisiveness. You could feel them hitting it downhill. They turned on the gas and we're lowering their shoulders too. So that was so good to see, but it doesn't happen without that offensive line. You can't say enough about Ozzie and Joe and Drew Dahlman and Jonah and then Darnell. I mean, those guys, they were huge for us. And so really proud of them, really proud of the tight ends, the receivers. That's a frustrating game if you're a pass catcher, because those conditions were challenging for us to get some consistency going there. And yet they still were a big part of what we were doing there in the run game, and they knew that going into it. So that was huge to see. Defensively, I thought our guys just played their tails off for all 60 minutes. And, we kind of harped on the importance of getting into these third down situations. And I think we created a number of those. And if my numbers are right, I think we were 4 for 12 in third down. So that was really good to see there by our defense. A couple turnovers were enormous. KB with another interception off a quarterback that really doesn't throw interceptions. And then Shawnee's fumble I think that was one of the turning points in the game right there. They're in scoring range, and high percentage play for them, and yet he was able to get the ball away from them. So these guys should feel pretty good about what they just did. It's hard to go on the road and beat a good team like that. And yet I think they still know we have got to get back to work next week, and so we're very pleased with where we're at. We'll be able to enjoy it for a couple days, and then we'll be right back to work and on to the next one, because that's where we're at in the season. But really happy with how this one went today.
Ben, what message do you think this sends about your team?
I think it's the same message we've been sending every week, that we're just going to compete our tails off for 60 minutes. I think that's what I know about our group. They got a lot of belief in what we're doing. They got a lot of belief in themselves. They got a lot of belief, I think, in this coaching staff. And so that confidence just starts to develop and continue to bubble over. So I think we've got a really confident group right now, and we're excited for these next 5 games.
What about their ability to kind of stay in the moment, just not day to day, game to game? I mean, I know it's a big thing for you, but like, what kind of have you observed about their ability to do that? Yeah, no, I think that's once again, that's a credit to the coaching staff, just trying to keep the main thing. I think it's a credit to our leadership too. I got guys like Grady Jarrett and Byard on defense, and Joe Tooney. Like, these guys, they all know what good football looks like, and they know the consistency that it takes to continue to win in this league. And so it's easy for those young guys to come to work it every day and just look at how these old heads are going about their business, and you just kind of fall in line. And so it's the same thing. There's no secret, man. There are no shortcuts. We got to go out next week and put in the same amount of work that we've been doing. And we got to continue to get better. We're still not at what we're capable of being yet as an entire team. And so we're going to continue to strive to put that full 60 minutes of 3 phases of complete football together. But these guys continue to get better each and every week, and I'm really proud of them.
You mentioned the conditions weren't ideal for the pass game. How do you think Caleb fared?
Yeah, off the cuff, it felt like, the wind got the better of us on a couple throws. He made some huge ones down the stretch there. That throw to Cole was enormous. He's rolling out to his left to be able to throw a dime like that at that point in the game. I thought that was really big for us. And so it's a struggle there. You're trying to not become just solely run oriented, because then the defense is going to adjust too. So you want to keep that element of a pass threat over the course of the game. And I was hoping we'd hit a couple more just to loosen them up a little bit more and keep that run game going. So overall, though, I thought he did a good job just keeping the operation going. That was something that we were really harping on this week, was just making sure we get in and out of the huddle clean.
You called that pass for Cole for touchdown. Were you sitting there going, all right, we have a chance for a dagger here if we can, if we do it right?
Well, that's one that just presented itself. Swifty's actually the number 1 read on that. And, as Caleb's pulling on out, you can feel the safeties dipping down low. And so I think he felt that, he saw it, and he delivered a good ball and made him pay. So that was good.
What's it like?
Everybody thought that was going to
Swift.
Swift.
With the way Kyle and Swifty were running and the way the offensive line was moving, like, did you feel yourself, especially in those 2 touchdown drives, those long drives, just be able to get in a rhythm and kind of go to a lot of different kinds of runs? Yeah. I think we had a good amount of volume for such a short week in terms of the run game. The number of formations and concepts that we had up, our guys handled it really well going into the week. And as a play caller, like I said, it's that balancing act, because if you hang with something a little bit too long, then all of a sudden you're looking at a 3rd and long and wondering why the drive stalled. And so I look down and I see 36 attempts. I'm like, well, shoot, I probably threw it. I called too many pass plays this game, and especially with how we're running it. And so that's an area that I can be better at too. Kyle had a 31-yard run, I think, right after Shawnee took the ball away. What was kind of that? What did that kind of play and then that drive just kind of mean for the whole team? You said the right fumble is obviously a turning point, but then to just answer the way you guys did start.
Yeah, no, I mean, we always talk about getting that first down and not necessarily thinking it's going to be an explosive run like that, but that was a huge one in that moment, because we were still, on our side of the field pretty backed up, and that got it to midfield and really ignited us as a whole team. And so that was great to see. And I think he played his tail off. So did Swift. And I can't say enough good things about our offensive line here today.
When Shawnee went and ripped the ball out on the tush push, was that something you guys had seen during the course of the week, that that might be a vulnerable spot?
Yeah. I mean, we certainly wanted to be sound in how we were defending that play and the compliments off of that play. And we were hopeful to have opportunities to get the ball there. Yeah.
You mentioned the third down defense. I know we talked about a lot this season, but to be able to watch DA use Jalen and Kyler and CJ all.
The world's first titanium nonstick pan. And blow your.
Yeah, no, I thought it was huge. They third down was when they were all out there together for sure. And then other times we're kind of platooning those guys. But it was just great to get their feet wet. I'll be curious to see what that tape looks like. I mean, there's a couple good receivers for Philly out there on the field. So I can't wait to see how tight that coverage was. And, it's good I think it'll be a good stepping stone for us to build upon going forward here.
Your decision on 4th and 5 to go for it. Or did you know on third down that was going to happen?
Which one?
The one to Loveland.
The Loveland?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, where we were on that field, I didn't feel great going that direction, kicking it. And I just, it's a gut feel sometimes on those things and how comfortable I am with the play call. So I felt pretty good in that circumstance. Yep. Thank you.
All right, so that is Ben Johnson, head coach of the Chicago Bears. And, man, I tell you, for everything that the Bears did today and just kind of thinking back to some of those plays, specifically that touchdown to Cole Kmet, I think a lot of folks, like I said, anticipated DeAndre Swift to get that ball. And then as the ball continued to float further down the field, it was, oh, no. What is happening? And right in the breadbasket of Cole Kmet, the ball is found for a touchdown that ultimately really sealed the game for the Bears more than anything else, to a point where just enough out of reach, the Bears were able to put things away and not make things a heart-stopping fourth quarter like we've been used to over these last several weeks.
It wasn't a great game for Caleb Williams.
No.
It was also 25-mile-per-hour winds. And, going into this game, I looked at the forecast and I was thinking, this is a game you got to run the football. And this is a game I thought Philadelphia would use Saquon Barkley and, who's their backup back?
Tank Bigsby.
Yes, Tank Bigsby. I'm like, they're going to give Chicago a heavy dose of that run, and they're going to test those linebackers. And it was the other way around, man. And at times you're like, okay, wide receivers are slipping. When Caleb is delivering a perfect ball, Luther Burden slips, DJ Moore slips. Pretty much cost him a chance at 3 points with Moore right before halftime. But then, I'm looking at him like, man, Ben Johnson, run the ball, man. Run the ball. And him and Caleb Williams made up for it on that play to Cole Kmet because Philly sold out for that run. They got the safeties down, like Ben said. And Caleb threw a perfect throw. I mean, that's such a difficult throw to make off that foot, going towards the sideline. And I thought what Ben said was pretty interesting. He said he looked and they threw the ball 35 times. He probably could have ran the ball a little more. They got away with it, and then they won the game. And man, it's refreshing. A year ago we're sitting here and Matty Eberflus is fired on Black Friday. He ruined Thanksgiving, and Ben Johnson saved Thanksgiving and saved the weekend, man, because now I can put up my Christmas lights. I could do some more shopping in peace and happiness. So, yeah.
Oh, man. So let's go over the stats, though, because, again, like you mentioned, Caleb Williams not having the greatest day. We heard there from Ben Johnson that, talking about the wind being a factor in today, that a few balls got away from him in the wind. Caleb Williams, 17 of 36 for 154 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. I will say this as well, and it was noticeable further on into the third quarter, where the Bears were really unable to gain their footing. I don't know what it was, but so many different receivers just slipping and falling in not just like 1st and 10 situations, but like in key 2nd and 3rd downs that would have advanced the ball, that would have picked up another 1st down, that would have been changing for the moment, because there was a drought there for the Bears offense, where they just seemed like they were done scoring points for the day, and it was going to be the defense's job to get the job done. And albeit they got the job done. The 15 points, the second fewest scored by the Eagles this year. The only fewest other than that was the 10 points they scored in a 10-7 victory over the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago. So, again, for as many struggles as this Eagles team has experienced on offense, it was still one of the most pungent of any experiences they've had this year at home in front of their home crowd when, frankly, they needed to show some competence given what occurred in Dallas last week.
Well, you know, the beginning of that, you touched on a good point. I mean, the Bears were dominating stats-wise and dominating time of possessions. And when they got up 7-3, they had a couple drives where they really could have put it away. I believe at a point in 3 straight series, I think Caleb was 2 of 9 passing, and they just weren't finding any rhythm. And then you go before the end of the half, you know, DJ slips, and the clock management's a little, could have been better. You felt like this was one of those games where the second half, the Eagles were just going to come out and kind of take over and dictate the game. And credit to Dennis Allen for keeping his team and his defense in this game. And even when, you know, hell of a ball and a hell of a play by A.J. Brown, I don't know what else Nahshon Wright could do. I mean, that's just really tough. But the missed point, the Bears keep the lead, and they still struggled to move the football. And then finally it clicked. You know, they get the next turnover with Nahshon Wright stripping it out of Jalen Hurts' hands for the tush-push fumble, and the Bears score. And then the Bears put it away essentially with the Cole Kmet touchdown. But yeah, it felt like, what were they doing? You know, they had the lead and they just could not extend that lead to 2 scores. And you felt like 2 scores was going to be it. 3 scores game was going to be it because of the way Philadelphia just couldn't move the football. And man, there was a clip where they showed the fans sitting and then leaving. You saw the Grinch just sitting there, and then you saw Santa Claus leaving, and it was just, and they panned over to Sirianni's face, and you're just like, just had a big grin on your face. It was just awesome.
Yeah, the Eagles faithful booing after the second play that offense had today, and it was just a chorus of boos throughout the day.
We said it. You and I said it on the last podcast. If you they're going to boo. I think you said it, that they will boo on the first drive. They're going to turn on their team, and they did, man. Yeah, they are a very passionate group, having sat amongst them this year. But I will say this: they definitely are unrelenting. I mean, you cannot go in there thinking, oh, you know, it'll be fine. No, you are going to get drilled immediately if they don't show any, you know, type of life in moving the ball. And the Eagles didn't early on. It was a great tone setter for the Bears defense to go and make sure they stop the Eagles from getting into field position. Running the ball, a phenomenal day by both Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift. Kyle Monangai, 22 carries, 130 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 125 yards and a touchdown. The first time in over 40 years that the Bears had 2 100-yard rushers in a game. Just wild stuff. We're talking Walter Payton, the last time the Bears were able to complete this feat. On the day, totally, 281 rushing yards for the Bears today. Absolute dominance on the ground. The holes that these runners had in front of them to get the ball rolling, it just incredible. The offensive line was running on all cylinders today from a run offense perspective. And I tell you, if this is what we're going to continue to see as the season moves along, and Ben Johnson really saying, you know, we're going to play our best football in December, like I don't know what the limit is right now, frankly, because that was incredible what they were able to do. We knew this Eagles defense was beatable on the ground, but this just chef's kiss, absolute chef's kiss. Yeah, I mean, like before the season started, man, we had questions about the running backs. Like everyone was like, well, they don't have a David Montgomery and a Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, it's probably not as good yet, but it is, dude, it's good. Like Kyle Monangai has been an absolute factor for the Bears this season. And being a 7th-round pick, anything you get from him is a bonus. And look what he's doing. I mean, he's turned into one of the better rookie running backs right now in the league. Yeah, today was just the run. And you have to give credit to the offensive line. Jonah Jackson had a play. He just completely cleared someone out, and it was a 10-yard hole. So, yeah, you have to give credit to the offensive line as well. That was impressive.
That it was. Caleb Williams heading to the podium now. Let's go there.
Yeah, please. What's up, everybody? Let's get it rolling.
Did you guys make a statement just now?
I think every single game that we want to play and that we play, it is to make a statement. And that's just another game for us. Focus on being 1-0 each week, and we keep doing that. We keep focusing on what's inside, the noise inside of the building. Honestly, it doesn't. The statements and all of that is more of the outside noise, more of kind of stuff for y'all to kind of talk about, and the analysts and all the whoever to talk about. And so, we'll keep focusing on ourselves. We'll keep focusing on being 1-0. We'll keep focusing on find ways to win games, but also find ways to better ourselves so we can be where we want to be.
Does beating the defending Super Bowl champion at their place in primetime feel important?
Yeah, it's a division game, or NFC game, and so it is very important to us because we understand what it is and what it means for us. But going into the game, you don't put that type of energy, you don't put that type of pressure, you don't put that type of focus or comparisons or anything like that. You focus on being 1-0, you focus on winning the game, and however it looks, however it feels, just focus on coming out to win. That's the most important thing.
What did you see on the touchdown pass to Komet? How tough was it to put a touch on the ball
with the win? Yeah, that's the fun part about playing QB. It's dealing with the conditions, and then finding ways to kind of calculate where you need to put the ball, and how much air, especially when you have such weird gust that we had today. It would be kind of no wind, and then random points to be super heavy gust. And so Cole ran a great route, and they ended up dropping them, and just kind of saw him flash. It's the play we haven't really practiced too much, especially this week with short week and all of that. So it was something that we trusted, something we believe in ourselves as a team, as an offense, and as players. And Cole ran a great route. Like I said, they kind of dropped him. Saw a defender trying to catch up to him. Just wanted to lay it out there, let the wind kind of push it back to him, and Cole made a great catch.
Were you looking at him the whole way, or were you just
about
to consider a check down?
I was about to consider the check down, and I looked up because I had space and time. There was a defender starting to chase Swift, and so I ended up looking up and peeked up, saw Cole, and like I said, gave him a a good ball, and let him go make a play.
And did Ben take his shirt off?
He did take his shirt off.
Oh dear.
He's a man of the people. Let's say that. Yeah.
How important was this running game to this success today, and did that even surprise you?
No, it's not a surprise. We got elite backs. We have an elite offensive line, and we have a elite wide receiver group that is willing to go put themselves out there and block for the betterment of the team. Even on a day where maybe we're not going to throw as much, or the conditions are affecting it a little bit, affecting the pass game and things like that. And so their willingness, especially with who they are, the type of receivers they are, where they've been drafted, and how special they are, their willingness to go out there and block. It's tremendous. It's awesome to watch. It's awesome to see from my point of view, but also I can't wait to go watch it on film and kind of get excited about it, because that's the sacrifice we need. That's the sacrifice that we want every single week from everybody on the field. And so them being able to do that is tremendous for us.
Did you hear the stat that the last time the Bears had 200 yards rushing?
Yeah, 1985. That's a cool stat, right? And so having that, I know it provides a lot of confidence within the coaching. I know it provides a lot of confidence in the O-line and running backs, especially that, they can put the game on their back. They can do everything, that we need to win for us. And, when it comes time for us to pass or whatever case may be, we can do it. And, we did that today. But, when it came down to it, we put the ball in the running back's hands, and they were electric for us.
You mentioned from your perspective, what is it like when you hand the ball off and you look and turn around and
you see
look
a crease?
Yeah,
it's super fun. I don't know if y'all ever kind of see me back there, but when I see a crease, I start getting really excited. I start jumping around like a little kid. And so, I'm excited, for those guys. Those are my brothers. And I get up like I've said before. I get up every single day to go out here and work my hardest so that these guys can succeed. And I'm going to keep doing that because it's supremely fun to see smiles on those guys' faces after games, but also during games when they're being explosive. O-line is doing a hell of a job. Wide receivers blocking well, and the running backs are having these big explosive plays. So we're going to keep chugging along, and we're going to keep winning these games.
Did you get the sense that their defense was getting demoralized, especially when they were opening up those big gaps?
Yeah, I think anytime you start, you start having explosive plays and especially explosive plays through the run game, you start tiring out defenses. You go in wide zone, you go keepers, you start misdirections, all these different things, and mental, their mental, I would say, gets tired. That's what you typically see, but also physically you get tired, and so. That's kudos to our head coach and our offensive staff, and then also, like I said, the players.
What did you see on the 4th down pass to Colston?
Going that way. Yeah. He was 1-on-1, safety rotated down, and they're a match team. And so he ended up basically being 1-on-1 and, just tried to give him a good ball. He ran a great route. Defender fell down. And, those are moments, key moments where you got to give your guy a shot. And he ran a great route, and it was an easy completion.
It seemed like a couple of your receivers had trouble with the footing earlier. Was there any part of you at the moment that went, oh, one of their guys fell down this time?
Yeah, those are always when I actually started to throw the ball. I made sure I threw because he ended up getting a little bit closer to the sideline, so I threw it a little bit back inside once I noticed. Kind of mid throw, started my throw, and just wanted to keep him in bounds and make sure it was a sure catch inbounds for us to in a big moment.
I emphasize that it's you guys still have not played your best.
Yeah,
football.
no.
How are you feeling right now after? It seems like nobody's as excited as you are. Maybe the stat line isn't what you would love, but I know you care about the win column. So how do you put in perspective the idea of the best is still to come?
Yeah, I come in every single week and we work our tail off as a group, and myself included, and I want to maximize every single thing. That's why I get frustrated. That's why my frustration comes about because I have such a talented group, whether it's the whole team really, special teams, defense. But speaking on offense, we have such a talented group and special group, and we got guys that really care, and so we can do something special for Chicago. And the frustration comes in just because you want to maximize, you don't want to waste time, you don't want to waste a year or anything like that. And that's why we get up that's why I get up every day. And so we haven't hit our pinnacle yet in the sense of a team and execution on offense, and we're still winning these games, and so that's really important, and that's why I'm extremely excited. But you go watch the film and you see all these explosive plays, or you see all these small details that show up that are awesome to learn from after the game. But in the moment, you want to hit those, you want to have these moments and just hit on all cylinders. And so that's coming, and we're going to show our best ball here soon.
Do you feel like you're going to wake up tomorrow and the whole world's going to have a whole new opinion, a whole new level of expectations for the Bears?
Probably they'll probably say whatever they have to say, and but that really doesn't faze us. That really doesn't really deal with us. We have no expectation other than to go in, work hard, give our best effort on Sundays, and every once in a while Friday maybe. But give our best effort and try and come out victorious. Other than that, the outside noise, everybody's expectations, everybody's thoughts, everybody, we could care less.
A couple more biggest run of the day came right after Sean got the takeaway.
Yep.
How do you describe that momentum? So Kyle was 31 to the next snap.
Yeah, that was right after I threw my interception, right? And we got the Nashawn fumble. Yeah. Tremendous job by the defense to start there. When you have such a momentum swing and you give them, such great field position like I did, throwing that interception, it's kudos to them first, and then having that momentum swing back in our favor, and then having a big explosive play is really important. It shows who we are as a team. It shows the adversity and how we fight through and how we show up for each other, and so it was huge for us.
How do you describe this team's ability to stay locked in on the now?
Yeah, that's who we've been. We started off 0-2, and there was a lot of noise. We go on this streak of winning, a lot of noise, and so we understand where we are. We understand who we are. We understand where we're going to be as a team. And, you focus on that. You focus on the betterment of the team as a group. And you come out with these wins week to week. And you don't let the noise, the outside noise, the negative moments, shine too bright within us and within our group. And, it's a positive thing that we've been able to do this year, and something we got to keep doing. Awesome. The Bears.
All right, there he is, Caleb Williams. Every time we see him at the podium, I can't help but feel like he knows how to handle the Chicago media, which we do not see very often from anybody with the Bears. And yes, obviously it's easier for a quarterback to go in front of a media group having won 9 of your last 10 games, but just the way he carries himself, it just feels different. He gets it, and I can't help but feel the adjustments to get him to improve upon the stat lines we've had, like today's game, 17 of 36 for 154 yards, the touchdown and the interception. There are brighter days ahead, and we're going to get there at some point in the very near future. We just have to be patient with it.
Have you seen the Ben Johnson shirt off video? That man is a psycho, and I am absolutely here for it, man.
Hold on. I'm
The
assuming
NFL account spoiled it.
The NFL account spoiled it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I was gonna see if it's made its way into the Bears YouTube channel yet, but I don't think it has.
It's on the NFL Twitter account has it.
The NFL. Okay, I think we have to bring it up. I think we
have to. This man is an absolute psycho, and when you watch this, this is incredible. And free hot dogs at the Wiener Circle now. Remember that?
Was that again?
Yes, free hot dogs. If he took his shirt off after a celebration, free hot dogs.
Oh my god!
If you guys are in the Chicago area that's watching, the Wiener Circle will be doing free hot dogs.
That's the second time.
And this video is incredible. And I'm going to tell you guys something too. Like, there's a lot of excitement in that locker room, and I'm in there. I'm talking to a lot of guys. They are not satisfied. I can tell you right now, they are not satisfied. Like, they've already eclipsed their win total from last year. They are a win away from having their first double-digit win season since 2018. Like, they're second in 15 years, close to 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, they're not satisfied at all. So that's just, yeah. It's awesome.
Okay, I think I found it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is something that is actually happening. All right, let's bring back. I have no idea what I'm about to watch. Oh my gosh.
I told you, dude. I told you. I mean, the NFL, they spoiled it. The Bears should have been able to put that out. I mean, that man that's a psycho in a good way. Also, apparently, did you hear this on the broadcast? They said he studied AI, which is completely not true because AI was not really a thing when he was at North Carolina. So I don't know what they were. Did you hear that? Where he was like, yeah, he studied like mathematics and finance and then also AI. And I'm like, hold on a second.
In 1999, or in 2003 or whatever? Like,
No, he did not. So that was pretty funny, but
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
back to Caleb, man. Yeah, he knows how to handle the Chicago media. He's very comfortable with everyone. I think, and I don't know what you thought on this, but I think Kirk Herbstreit did a great job analyzing Caleb Williams today
He
and
did.
telling you exactly what's going on. And the thing I wanted to say and bring up was there was a play in the first quarter and he hit Luther Burden and he kind of led Luther Burden and it was a completion. And Herbstreit went back and said, if you watched him last year, you saw Caleb was throwing it to the chest all the time, but throwing fastballs. This year, he's working on that touch, kind of throwing it a couple yards ahead of him and leading his receivers. And he's getting better. And now he's starting, things like that. And I thought that was spot on. I think he was fantastic. I think he told you, yeah, there's been struggles. There's struggles this game. But he's on the right track. This is 12 games with Ben Johnson. And we've already seen improvements from last year. Yes, there's things he does have to improve on still. But I mean, you got a guy who he can make some ridiculous throws. It's just crazy, man.
Absolutely. And there was a throw early on that was just a pure adjustment. The Eagles brought pressure and they threw a quick sidearm to Cole Kmet to pick up like 6 yards on the first possession of the game. And it's things like that where it doesn't hit him square in the head and you're like, crap, that didn't go the way it was supposed to. It's things like that. Olamide Zaccheaus getting back involved again on a couple of big throws. And I believe it was actually one of the throws to him that Kirk Herbstreit brought up the touch of his passes. And then again, even listening to Caleb Williams talk about the pass to Cole Kmet, and he's like, hey, just throw it up there and let the wind just kind of guide it back. The way that he described it and knowing that he needs to get better at things, he's still getting caught flat-footed a bit, which is why you still see some of that sailing downfield on the 10-plus yard throws. But it's getting there. It's slowly getting there, probably not as fast as a lot of Bears fans hope it would, but it's getting there, and we're seeing it in real time where it's not situation where everything is on the quarterback's shoulders. It is a team effort. We are seeing them come together, seeing these press conferences, these videos. Things are gelling. They are gelling at the right time. They are playing better week by week. We saw, again, the impact of what it was with both Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson on the field, although they weren't on the field as much later on in the game. All of a sudden, we started seeing Nick McLeod again, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on? I got a little scared. I'm like, please tell me. And even when Ben came to the podium, he's like, a little bit of an injury update. I'm like, please don't say Jalen. Please don't say Kyler.
I know, man. Well, the thing was, they were in dime a lot, or not a lot, but they were in dime a couple times early to open the game, and it was Kyler and in there is the extra DB where it was CJ Gardner-Johnson as the nickel. So I'm wondering how they're going to do this moving forward, because you have Jalen, you have CJ Gardner-Johnson, you have Kyler Gordon, you have Nashawn Wright, and if Tyreek Stevenson gets healthy, that's 5 DBs you can put on the field, and I say you feel comfortable with. I think obviously Jalen is atop that list, CJ, then Kyler, or you can flip them, and then probably Nashawn and Tyreek, and then you have 2 safeties as well that you feel really good about too. So I'm curious how Dennis Allen is going to work that moving forward. But when they were out in that dime look, I mean, it was Kyler as the extra diamond. And now it's probably, we don't want to rush him back. And I think having that safety net of Gardner Johnson there helps. But yeah, I don't know why Nick McLeod was in late. I have no idea. Maybe it was
not in my. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it was just like, let's ease these 2 guys in. And don't put a ton of pressure. It's still a 15-point game at that point, and they went for the 2 and didn't get it. So maybe that played into it a little bit, where it wasn't like a core play, a core possession where it's like we need to stop no matter what. I don't know. But it was wild to see just how things progressed. Kevin Byard having another interception. We haven't even talked about the tush push play today that Nashawn Wright completely blew up. He went around the side and said, "Thank you, taking the ball. See you later." For the Bears being one of the teams that wanted to keep the tush push because it was voted on in the owners' meetings in the offseason. The Bears, one of the teams, like, no, they can keep doing it. And lo and behold, it comes back to benefit them. A lot of Eagles fans like, well, the forward motion or forward progress was already stopped. It's like, how many times has that not been the case this year where it's just been a continuance? Like today, I think the Bears exploited what's wrong with that play almost, where it was hung up there for a second and the Bears benefited from that and took advantage of Jalen Hurts just kind of laying on top of guys while still trying to move his legs.
Yeah, well, okay, so the against the Giants at home, right? Was it the last Giants game? They had there was a play where Kayvon Thibodeau takes the ball from Jalen Hurts, and they ruled him forward progress. Play is dead, and I thought that's exactly what was going to happen here. But the play wasn't dead against the Giants because he was definitely pushing, and I think that's what makes the tush push so tough. Is a couple things. When do you blow it dead? Because we've seen times where Jalen Hurts has just moved his legs and they let it keep going, or they blow it dead. And then the other thing is, how do you spot the ball if it actually is stopped? You know what I mean? It's a very tough play to spot the ball. So that's what makes the tush push tough. Also, I have not seen an angle where Kamanungai was short on that to overturn it. If they called him short on the field, I would have been totally fine with them keeping it short. But what the heck was that, man?
And this has been a thing that we've seen, unfortunately, not the first time this season today, where you wonder what was there that said, okay, you can turn this over, because several defenders and Bears blocking the line of sight to see exactly where that ball was when his knee went down. It just didn't make any sense. There needs to be that consistency. And if there's been one consistency, it's the inconsistency of the refs this year across the league. And that's frustrating. And it was a microcosm today in certain key situations where you said, do you see what we're talking about here? Like the national stage, the tush push, the ball spotting, everything. It's frustrating because at some point you have to say, okay, clear evidence, not there. Okay, move on, done. Forget it. And they don't seem to be latching on to that mindset. It's just a very touchy call that is more opinionated than by the rule of the book, which is frustrating.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough play to kind of rule and it's a tough thing. I don't know. I'm glad the Bears came out ahead of it with the tush push. And hey, Dennis Allen said he had a plan, and the plan was not to lay someone on the ground. So he was not lying. I'm curious. We do get to talk to him about this week, and I'm sure he'll have something to say about that, because I'm curious if that was his plan, to have someone go on the side and try to strip the ball out. Because it's vulnerable. The ball's vulnerable.
Yep. I mean, anytime the quarterback has the ball in a situation like that and you keep him upright off the ground, fair game. Go after it. Scrum for it. Go all rugby style if you need to. And that's exactly what the Bears did in that situation. Let's take a look at the team stats. We didn't really run down. We called out a few of them because it was wild to see just how dominant the Bears were. Specifically in the first half, and to only have 10 points on the board, and you sit here wondering, okay, what more do they need to do? I mean, in one half they had 16 first downs. They were 7 of 10 on third down efficiency with 222 total yards, and they only had 10 points. It was like, okay, what are we doing? Why is this the way that it is? So the way that the tape ended up, the Bears doubling up the Eagles on first downs, 28-14. Third down efficiency was phenomenal today, 10 of 17 for the Bears, 4 of 12 for the Eagles. So just completely shut them down. Total yards, 425 total yards for the Bears offense today to 317 for the Eagles. Passing the ball, 144 yards passing to 230 for the Eagles. The rushing, we talked about this stat, 281 to 87. Just complete dominance on the ground for the Bears today. Turnover battle, obviously the one Caleb interception to the 2 turnovers for the Eagles, and then penalties. Probably the cleanest game we've seen from the Bears this year in the penalties column. 4 penalties for 35 yards for the Bears, 7 penalties for 44 yards for the Eagles, and then time of possession, 39-18 to 20-42.
Yeesh. Here's a stat. As a team, the Bears rushed for 100 yards before contact and 185 after contact against the Eagles. They have reached 100 plus yards before contact and 150 yards plus after contact twice this season. No team has done it once.
Man, insane, just absolutely insane. It is the dominance of what today was. It felt like it was more than just a 9-point victory, and I mean, heck, at one point it was a 24-9 game. So it's the garbage time more than anything else that really got the Eagles back into the swing of things in this. And I tell you what, really, outside of A.J. Brown having a big day, 10 catches for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns, there was nothing really on either side through the air. Devonta Smith, 5 catches for 48 yards. I think we both thought Dallas Goedert was going to have a big game. He only had 2 catches for 27 yards. And Cole Kmet leading the way for the Bears, 3 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. Luther Burden, 4 catches for 33 yards, just behind him. So just an incredible day. And the Bears didn't even have a sack today. They did not get the pressure on Jalen Hurts. The Eagles defense had 2 sacks on Caleb, Nolan Smith Jr. and Jalen Carter, both with a sack today. But really, other than that, just fantastic all-around game from the Bears coming together. They improved to 5-2 on the road. Just absolutely fantastic to see that they are continuing to win away from Soldier Field. So they are 5-2 on the road, 4-1 at home. So they got a few extra home games coming up here. But the big key, the fact that they took down a team that is neck and neck with them in the NFC, and for as bunched up as the NFC is, there's a very good chance that tiebreakers are going to come into play, and the main tiebreaker being similar team records. And so the Bears having lost a game to the Vikings, a game to the Lions, the Eagles beat all 3 other NFC North teams. If the Bears manage to continue to win and it comes down to a 3-way tie in the playoff picture, this was huge for them in terms of what they needed moving forward.
I mean, yeah, I mean, seeding wise now, I mean, what are they at? They're at 9-3, so they're just behind the Rams. And next week was not only for first place in the NFC North, but you get, seeding too. I mean, it's huge for seeding, and I think if the Bears can win 2 more games, man, I think they're going to get in, whether as a wild card or division. Probably not division. I probably would imagine 2 wins would get you the wild card. I think 12-13 is probably going to win you the division. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting little race here to watch the end. One thing I did want to bring up before we kind of close it off. Did you see the Greg Olson tweet during the game?
Which one?
This one's good. Philly
okay.
This is at 4:25, so this is the second half. I'm guessing fourth quarter. Philly is throwing into the wind because Chicago won the toss and took the ball. It's not random. Ben Johnson planned for the fourth quarter hours ago.
But okay, that's the one I thought you were going to bring up. How does that make sense? If they won the toss and they chose the ball, then the Eagles are the ones that get to choose which end zone to defend. And I'm sitting here like I was doing mental gymnastics trying to figure this out. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, someone said only way to make sure you get the wind in the fourth is to take the ball. So I don't know. That's interesting.
I gotta figure that out.
Yeah, I'm a little
I need to go back
confused
and
on
watch
it.
that. Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me because it's like, okay, well, the other team gets to choose like which goal to defend. So wouldn't Nick Sirianni being at home have a better
No, well,
understanding of?
I guess the team that picks the sides in the first doesn't choose after the half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting it now. So when it came down to it, then
Because they
the
deferred.
Eagles got the ball and then they got to choose which goal. Okay, I got it. Okay.
I guess.
I
Yeah,
just
well,
thought it was back and forth, back and forth. That makes more sense to me. I'm learning things now.
I'm guessing that has to be it, right?
I would think so, yes. That's
interesting.
yeah. Okay. Well, does that shock you at all?
No, oh, I guess this is the third time the Bears have taken the ball first this season.
Wow. Well,
yeah, I'll
I
have
mean,
to look at that. That's interesting. I'm very interested in that.
If they want to keep running the ball like this, I mean, just keep taking the ball. Like, who cares at this point? I just incredible game overall, and I had a feeling that something played into that, but the way it was described, I'm like, is that how it works? I wasn't for sure, but that makes more sense because technically, I mean, it's the dumbest rule in the book. Technically, I believe the second half team has the option of deferring and kicking off in the second half.
Yeah.
Which, like, who in their right minds would ever do that?
Well,
so
some players do make the mistake of not saying the defer, right? Like,
yes.
Because I think there was was it Jair Alexander that game against Carolina? He went out there. Remember, it was like it was the start of the beginning for him in Green Bay. He went out there as a captain. He wasn't the captain, but because he's from Charlotte, he went out and he went behind LaFleur's back. And then he called it wrong. And the official, instead of giving it how it should have been, the official was like, "What do you mean that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I guess he said a keyword, but the official let it go. It should have been Panthers would have got the ball twice, essentially. Which is stupid. The whole thing is stupid. You should be able to say kick or receive.
Yep. I
like
1000%. Yeah, exactly. Just make it simple. Just make it simple. And shout out to Nick Whalen as well, saying this because I start this episode literally screaming, "Are you not entertained?" at this point? Because I mean, frankly, I think we're all sick and tired of, the Bears are frauds. They're not going to get anything done. They haven't beaten anybody. The Eagles have won against the Rams, Chiefs, Bucks, Packers, and Lions this year. If this isn't a quality win, then no win is a quality win. Nick saying that, wholeheartedly agree. He is right on cue. And I tell you what, in the fashion that the Bears had today, squared away, just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Well, and that Cowboys win looks better and better for the Bears too.
It does. Absolutely.
Because I mean, that's a good offense.
It is. It's it's kind of a scary opponent to think of if they sneak in. If you're a 2 seed, there's a very good possibility that you would see them with what their record is and the way that the NFC has shaken up to this point in time. But that's getting ahead of ourselves here. As Caleb Williams would like to say, next week, just got to go 1-0. That's all they got to do. And next week, the first Bears-Packers game with Ben Johnson at the helm up in Green Bay. Finally off of the noon skid. We are at 3:25 on a national game on Fox in week number 14. Bears, Packers. Oh boy, that's it's gonna be big. Gonna be big.
It's gonna be a fun one. Let's at least split. You got to at least split with Green Bay in these next they got 2 and 3 weeks coming up. You at least got to split with Green Bay. But like you said, let's take it one game at a time. Let's enjoy this. An extra couple of days to enjoy us. Bears are 9-3, folks. Like, this is, who would have thought?
Absolutely. It's and enjoy the ride, but I tell you, if they're going to start putting together performances like this against the other cream of the crop in the NFC, starts to raise the bar just a little bit more of those expectations in what this team's able to do. Just imagine when they get the linebackers back and this defense puts up an even better performance than what we saw out of them today out in Philadelphia. The excitement is here. The weekend is a good one, and the Bears heading in to next week 9-3 atop the NFC North. And who knows, Carolina beats the Rams on Sunday. That's tied for the top of the NFC overall.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Who knows?
Panthers have done some really weird things this year.
Very weird season, man.
But we're going to be talking Bears Packers later this week, so be sure to stay tuned to the Bear Report and wherever you listen to podcasts, or here on YouTube as well, or our Facebook page. We'll be here to break it all down between the Bear Report and the Hallis Beat and everything else we have going on here at bearreport.com. So for Zack Pearson, I'm Steven Johnson. Thanks for tuning in. The Bears win it 24-15 over the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk to you later this week. It's Packer Week, folks. Let's get it going. Take care. Good, better, bad. Never let it run. Never let it run.